just like your blood runs through your veins. So he can influence us at the conscious level, at the subconscious levels. And then he goes on to say that al-quwwatu salisa is that, he will, from his right. What does that mean? He says that ash-shahwatu wa hiya mawdu'a fil qabd wa hiya min jamin al-badan. He says that by saying that he will come from the right, it means that he will take advantage of our sexual desires, our lust, okay, which is in the right of mankind, or in the liver, he says. And this is the old sort of thinking about where the liver lies and what it does. But the meaning is that he will try to influence you through lust. And when he says through it from the left, meaning that through ghazab, through anger and temper and making them short-fused. This is how I will influence them in these different ways. And I think here, we are reminded that we have to be conscious and aware all the time. And this is the whole meaning of the idea of taqwa, being alert, aware, so the shaitan doesn't influence us through our consciousness, neither through our subconsciousness, neither through the lust, neither through our feelings, our emotions, and our anger. These are different ways from which the shaitan can do the waswasa. Well, you'll be wondering, well, he's got a lot of power now, he's got a lot of influence. But later on, Imam Fakhruddin Razi goes on to say that نقل عن شفيق رحمه الله أنه قال, he says that, this is one of the great sayings. He says, yes, the shaitan can come from your conscious, from your subconscious, he can awaken your lust, and he can make you angry and all those. Yes, it can come all through those means. But mankind is very powerful. You as human beings have already been given means of fighting and combating all these four. Shafiq Rahimahullah says that, whenever the shaitan comes from these four ways, from front, from behind, from the right and from the left, he says that, but don't remember, لا تخف فإن الله غفور رحيم. فقرة وإني لغفار لمن تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا. He says that, well, don't forget and remember the fact that God is indeed the most forgiving and the most generous. Yes, the shaitan can influence your consciousness, your mind, okay? Like he was able to, he himself used his mind and reasoning. And this is where the danger of reason over revelation, we have to be aware of it, okay? When reason becomes too powerful, too daunting, okay? And this is one of the serious problems of modernity and post-modern thinking in particular. We use too much of this and too little of our hearts, okay? And the next thing he says is that, when he says that he will come from the subconscious, then remember, what Allah says, وَمَا مِن دَابَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. Meaning that, you should be always aware of the reality that God is the one who is responsible for sustaining you. Both your physical sustenance and your emotional and your spiritual sustenance comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has taken responsibility. When he says, وَمَا مِن دَابَةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا, that meaning that Allah is there to sustain you. He's your real treasure. So don't be afraid of the fact that, yes, the shaitan can run inside you like your blood runs in your veins. And he goes on to say that from your right, well, when it comes to this, then remember that وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. The final result, the final consequence, the final power really lies with those who are muttaqeen. What he's trying to indicate here, Imam Shafiq, is that, look, you too have enormous powers. So don't be daunted by, don't be overwhelmed by the fact that shaitan has certain powers as well. But you have greater power. And then he says that when he comes from your left, in other words, when he makes you angry, remember, وَحِيلَ بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَ مَا يَشْتَهُونَ. Allah says, we will turn away His power, we will turn it away. And the desires that he puts into you, we will turn those away from you. And we will become a barrier between you and him. These were some verses that I chose from Surah Al-A'raf, which is a surah that I'm doing the tafsir of in the evenings, on Friday evenings. And inshallah, we want to do this for the next 8 weeks. And I just thought, here lies a very important lesson for us about two important things. One, how we should avoid arrogance, and how arrogance results in death of humanity and our spirituality. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب